Hello everyone, my name's Artemis Black and we are looking at the top 5 rules revisions in Blood Bowl 3rd season. Not everything is doom and gloom whenever these big changes come about. I'm sure everyone sees the various negativity, but in between all of that there is also usually a lot of positive things. There are always good changes and bad changes, and it's okay to talk about both. You'll live. We're going to talk about the good rules revisions or even new rules that have come about in 3rd season that I am personally looking forward to being in the game. Number 5, random skills are basically gone. There is absolutely no reason to random anymore. If you are random in skills, it is because it's like the last game before a redraft. It's a cup or something, and you've got some random skills better than no skill. But if you're building a team, you do not random skills. Ignore anyone that tells you to random skills. They are wrong. You can do it for fun. Obviously, everyone can do anything they want for fun. You don't need my permission to do things for fun. But if you're playing, properly, you want to win, you want to get better, random in skills is basically a waste of time. It's a waste of resources, fire in players, because you couldn't be bothered to wait one more game to get a skill you actually wanted, because there's no TV discount. The only real reason to random skills was the TV discount, to stay lower TV. TV efficiency was very important. And without that, it is basically a waste of time. No random secondaries at all, which is great because that was kind of the thing that saved the most TV. You'd have like skinks, random in general skills, that kind of thing, which makes everything a little more fair. Because obviously, someone who rolls really well at randoms does just better than you. It's really annoying. It's part of the reason why the current skill system, as boring as it is also more fair. That's kind of the way, isn't it? You can put in random skills, you can put in random roles if you just want to play in your own league and do your own house rules. But generally, people want competitive games to be more fair. And the problem with the old rules was, someone rolled their strength 4, strength 4, Edge 5 War Dancer, and then they get to win. And you weren't that lucky. And randoms was kind of a smaller version of that, right? Someone playing dwarves just rolls guard 4 times as their random skills, and you rolled pile driver 4 times. It sucked. Their team is infinitely better than yours. Like, how annoying was that? So random's gone. A little side note, I play a lot on Blood Bowl 3, and we've had a bunch of arguments about random skills. And I was very vehemently on the side of keeping random skills. Not because I thought they were great, but which was a completely different argument. It was because it was the rules of Blood Bowl, and I didn't want Blood Bowl 3 to make up their own rules of Blood Bowl. I actually don't like random skills. So now that it's gone, it makes this list. The Apothecary. It now works on Journeyman, and it now works on Star Players. How weird was it that didn't happen before? How weird was it that if you were struggling enough to have like 3 loners, you couldn't even apple one of them to keep him on the pitch if you really wanted to? If you were struggling enough to get a good star player and he just gets randomly clipped, you can't apple him. He's got his own like apothecaries. Well, bloody use it then. I would quite like to have the player that I paid like 300 TV for that's supposed to be evening out the game with my opponent. I'd like to keep him on the pitch, please. Thankfully, like, how has it taken this long to fix that rule? But now it works, and it's absolutely great. So if you are now down TV, you don't have that extra annoying thing to bother you. The Apothecary will come up again a little later. Spoilers. But for now, this was the important part. This was the absolutely, oh my God, I can't believe this has finally happened. I'm not going to get screwed by a random KO on Ripper or whatever it is. I can now use my Apo. Pass in. we're so the problem with third season is agility play is really screwed. But at least passing got a little better. If for those of you, especially like casual players who like throwing the ball around, lobbing the ball back and forth, it's now become less stupid. On top of the fact that passing has been increased across the board, lots of these, excuse the warning, lots of these positionals that had like 5+ and 6+ passing have been brought down to actually reasonable numbers. We finally got rid of no more wildly inaccurate. 5 years this has been in the game, and it was one of the worst rules introduced in 2020. 2020 then introduced a passing stat and then made it incredibly dangerous to pass because of this stupid wildly inaccurate. It's gone. It's just not in the rule book anymore. It was an absolute disaster of a rule. It should have been gone a long time ago, and it's finally gone. Hopefully never to see the light of day again. We've also removed interference. Like, I get that it doesn't buff passing, but in general, I'm throwing it into this page. It was super annoying to roll 2 dice. Oh, you have to interfere, and now you've interfered whether or not you're going to intercept. Come on. Like, we roll enough dice. Like, either you intercept or you don't intercept. But the actual thing that's above passing is also easier catches. You might notice if you look at the catch-in page that there is a number of lines missing from 2020. No more -1 for this, -1 for that. It is a just straight, you can catch an inaccurate pass the same as you could catch an accurate, like you can catch a bouncing ball. You can catch the kickoff, which is not really passing. But lots of these lines have disappeared. So passing and catching, ball movement, has been made easier across the board, which is good. If only we had any agility teams worth playing competitively that would throw a pass. But for those casual players out there who like lobbing the ball around, moving the ball around, you want to like fumble Ruski this and then throw a pass with that, go nuts. No more you're going to accidentally throw the ball 7 squares backwards. Like, gone. Thank God for that. The casualty table is back to 50% badly hurt. Hallelujah. How annoying has it been for 5 years to have a 37.5% badly hurt? And of course, the Apothecary. Like, you'd get an injury and you're like, oh, should I even bother using the Apothecary? It only works like 1 in 3 times. Thank God for that. It's back to 50%. But casualties are bad enough in Blood Bowl, aren't they? Like, it's an absolute disaster when something important gets hurt. And now we were like, oh, God, it's not even going to do anything. Thank God for that. 50-50 now. Considerably better. You know what? It's the only thing written on the screen. There's nothing else to say about it. It's just so good that they put it back to 50%, that it gets its own entire slide to itself, and I'm really happy about everything. And finally, we get a rule for picking up the ball. You have no idea how many 2 a.m. rants I've had about how stupid it is that we play a game where people are supposedly professional football players and they need to roll dice, sometimes difficult dice, to bend over and pick up a football. And then they fail. Like, it's crazy. And if you were there for the time where I was playing Amazons, it started raining, my opponent banged in a 2-turn, and then I destroyed his entire team and failed, I kid you not, 14 consecutive pickups. All just coin flips. It cost me a win. A free win, essentially. I almost pitch cleared him, and I couldn't pick up the ball because it was raining, and apparently I could not roll a 4+. Dumbest thing in the game ever, to lose to failed pickups. No one near you. Ball just on the ground. Like, you can just imagine the scenes in real life of your entire team just turning around. It's like we've beat up the entire other team. Can you please pick up the football off the floor? And it's just guy just shrugging. It's like, I can't do anything about it. I don't understand. I just like, oh, butterfingers. Makes no sense. Thank God for that. Now you only fail like the pickups. Very, very rarely. Thank God for that. And they remembered to put in unsteady and big guy rules to make sure that, it's not abused, running around with augers with the ball, etc. A couple more people could have had unsteady for my liking, but it's fine. Thank God for that. We are not going to lose the stupid... Everything, to me, every single thing that lowers RNG in the competitive version of this game is better. And everything that adds RNG is worse. We have enough RNG, we roll dice. There's already more RNG in Blood Bowl than in most other games played competitively because we simply roll six-sided dice. Low amounts of variance on a six-sided dice. And when one of those six sides means that, you trip and die, and the other one means that you can do anything you want, that's enough variance. We're good with that. Let's not add in inability to pick up a football. No one should complain about this. Absolutely great. And there we go. That is the top 5 things that I am excited about coming, because I don't get to play. I know all you guys are playing on tabletop, or some of you. I don't get to play until at least January, when Fumble will likely have their version of 3rd season rules. And then, who knows, when it's coming to Blood Bowl 4, it's going to be Warhammer Blood Bowl, as they're calling it, at minimum of May. So I don't get to do this. I don't get to do what all you guys are doing. So I'm just looking forward to it. I'm making videos. I'm looking forward to stuff. Maybe I'll sneak into Firestorm Games in Cardiff and play a little bit of tabletop while no one's looking. Go in with like a hoodie and a mask so no one knows who I am. Maybe I'll see some of you over there. But if you want to see me before then, I am at twitch.tv/theArtemisBlack, as you can see on screen. And by the way, I'm not like some kind of crazy egotist. Artemis Black was taken. It is unfortunate that Harry Potter has become real popular in the recent decade or whatever, and Sirius Black has the last name Black, and lots of girls are using fan fiction to make themselves in the Black family in Harry Potter, and it's harder to get Artemis Black on new social medias. So I had the better than anything else I could come up with. So there will be it. And if you're just a YouTuber, don't forget to press all buttons and bells, yada, yada, yada. I will try to remember to be a YouTuber more often. And I will see you in the next video.